Hi everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light, Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. This is really for my UK viewers or those that are interested in what is going on in the UK. And this is around Boris Johnson. And the reason that I want to do this today is that I just want to look at a little while ago, I read on Johnson and I said the cards were terrible. It showed that he couldn't count on even his own party. I said that he would be ultimately have to resign. The next day after that, he survived a leadership spill. Although he lost control of his own party, not a majority didn't want to support him, but not enough of a majority for him to go. So I came on and I said, look, here's a lesson in timing with the tarot. I still maintain that Johnson is going to have to stand down. And, I want to check on that today because his leadership is under real pressure. One by one, his ministers are resigning, and those that have withdrawn their support for him, he's sacking. So this is a leadership crisis in the UK. It's quite serious. These are very uncertain times. It's not the time that anyone wants to see destabilisation of leadership. I have some personal views here that I won't get into. Suffice to say, maybe it's not a good time to remove Johnson, but I don't have that control. Johnson, of course, has been very Trumpian-like in his behaviour in the past. Right now, he is admitting where he's going wrong. He's appealing to the vote, or to his own party, I guess, after facing a series of scandals. Now, we all knew who Boris Johnson was before he was elected as leader of the Tory party, faced an election, got voted into office. He rode on the coattails of people like Nigel Farage, who really used Brexit to divide the country. And so referendums were held. Half wanted to stay, half wanted to go. Then it was Theresa May put it to an election, and the Tories won the election, and that gave them the mandate then to exit the EU. Now that's caused all sorts of problems, from downturns in the economy to trade and labour shortages, and consequently, politics is so enlightening, isn't it? Consequently, now, when these by-elections have been held, the Tories are losing. If they're not losing to Labor, they're losing, I think it is, to the Liberal Democrats. My long-range readings of politics in the UK always suggest that at the next election, it will be a coalition of Labor and one of the other parties, the Democrats, Liberal Democrats. Sorry if I've got that party name wrong. I don't think it's Socialist Democrats. I think it's Liberal Democrats. Anyway, I feel there's a coalition coming at the next election. So there's a few things that need to be explored today for our friends in the UK. And that is, will Johnson finally have to go, like we've been saying for a long time? Will Johnson finally, I think Cash Peters, my mate Cash Peters, I actually went and looked at one of his readings the other day. I really needed to be uplifted, and I laughed the whole way through it. So thank you, Cash, for the laugh. Okay, so, and I mean that in a really good way. It was uplifting. Humour is always uplifting. All right, so as dark as the dawn, as the night may be before we get to the dawn, never forget to try to look for that silver lining, to look for the absurd, because that's in plentiful supply in a lot of these political situations. The theatre of absurdity. And the humour. The humour. All right, because that lightens us. That allows us to be lighter, to move up into the light. Wow, what was that? Did anyone see that flash there? Anyway. All right, let's get on with it. Justice is a theme too that I saw when I asked about Brexit and Boris Johnson at the original election, that I got the justice card. So there's a real alignment here. Okay, so let's see, is this justice for Johnson and the division he created in the UK against immigrants, against you name it, out of Trump's playbook? We've got the world card here. The world card. Endings and beginnings. Interesting, Johnson led the climate change push for the world. The UK was a big leader there. He also led think tanks around not going down the path of the UK. I'll just let that one go through to the keeper while I finish this reading. Sorry, not going down the path of the US, where we had QAnon and conspiracy theorists elected to Congress. Okay, so let's... ironic, isn't it? A great irony. Boris Johnson, can he hang on? All right, let's formulate our question. Can Boris Johnson... Something wanted to come out there, and that's the Queen of Fire. Queen of Fire, stability, the economy... feeling that things are unstable in the UK at the moment. All right, will Boris Johnson remain the leader of the Tory party? Will Boris Johnson stay as Prime Minister? Will Boris Johnson stay as Prime Minister? I'm using the good tarot today. Four of Water is disappointment. Okay, so 3 cups have been lost, 1 remains. He's hanging on. Despite everything. So right now he's hanging on, but can he hang on? People want something else. The King of Fire, okay, is crossing that. This is, this is his own ministers. This is the lawmakers. Has he got the support of his backbench, for example? The MPs, has he got that support? This is also courage, stepping forward. He said, could even be why he's hanging on, that the job of the Prime Minister is to persevere. Theresa May, he rolled Theresa May. The opposition leader, Keir Starmer, said, what a load of nonsense to be saying that in the death knell of your Prime Ministership. That's what you've got to say? Okay. Looks like people are... There's going to be more people calling for him to step down, even more than what we've seen. The 3 of Earth is at the foundation of this reading. There is really consolidated opposition to him. Now, they are working in teams to get rid of him. This is a concerted effort that he may not see. So one of the big cards was betrayal. He may not see what's coming, even though it's been so in his face. He still may not see what's coming. Oh, sweet justice. Okay, so remember, justice was in my original reading that on Brexit and his election. I got the justice card. That's in the past. This is number 11. There's like a spiritual, karmic, it's the law of karma unfolding. Now, somehow what he's done in the past, it's literally his past is catching up with him. Justice is a really hard, difficult thing to come back from. I can almost say now I don't think he's going to be able to hang on. I think my original reading again was correct. The 2 of Pentacles, can he hang on? This is like a high wire act. They're making decisions at this moment. That's what's crowning him. There's nothing stable about this card. This is about deciding which ship heads toward the rocks. Now, the Tories have been losing the elections under Johnson, the by-elections. People want change. People are blaming him for what's happened since Brexit, blaming him for COVID, blaming him for the lockdowns. Blame, blame, blame. If they put in someone new, can they win the election? This is what they're all considering. The 5 of air is in the immediate future. This is an abuse of power. I wouldn't put it past Johnson. Now, again, I'm a bit ambivalent. I really didn't, when he was behaving like Trump, he was sort of, very, very transparently obvious in his motivations, this 5 of swords energy. I warmed to him a little bit more when he supported Ukraine in such a way as what the UK has done. But in the immediate future, he's going to do something that actually is an abuse of power. Don't know what that is. The High Priestess in the here and now. Well, something bombshell is happening in the UK right now that we can't necessarily see. We have the 3 of fire. This is foreign stuff, people doing the work, waiting for the ship to come in. But which ship is it? Here we have the 2 of earth. Very, very precarious situation. This is Brexit also. This is EU connections. This is the 3 of Pentacles. Those that are working against him, they're not going to let up. The Queen of Earth, stability. Like I wouldn't be, or the lack of it. The lack of stability, economic stability. He's been blamed. He would be being blamed for the badger that was hit by the car crossing the road. It's that kind of scenario. We have here the 7 of Cups, illusion and delusion. Fundamentally, the Justice card is here. So UK is undergoing its own baptism of fire, if you want to put it like that, or not being able to see the woods for the trees. We have the Strength here. So, again, him being blamed. This is why I don't think he can hang on. And the 5 of fire, the partisanship. 7 of Cups suggests he's likely to do something that we're not really anticipating. I'm going to draw a clarifier on that. So there's a lot of insecurity, the 4 of earth, and the Queen of air, a lack of logic here. The waters are really blurry at this time with him. What will he do next? I don't underestimate what he might do, or his own party. Does he dissolve Parliament? What does he do here? Does he pass some kind of emergency? Can he hang on? No. No, in the longer term, no. But there's something else here in the shorter term. There are people that are calling for an election. And that could be what I'm seeing here. There's something around that people aren't thinking clearly here. And there needs to be a strategy and a plan and logic. This is being ruled by the emotions. And just as much him too. Let's have a look at this 7 of water. So, illusion and delusion. This is Piscean energy. But it's clarified by the Strength card. So his removal, and the Empress, abundance or lack of it. Will he be removed from power? Will he be removed from power? So a lot of cards want to jump out. So we have the 8 of Wands and the Page of Pentacles and the Tower. Oh, I don't think he can hang on, but there's something greater here at risk. This is very, very tumultuous times for the UK. I don't think he can hang on, no. I don't think he can. But I think before he goes, there's like something he's going to do that is really maybe out of left field that we're not seeing at this time. Let's see does he call an election? That could be it. I mean, imagine that. He said, we don't want an election at this time. Our economy, our stability would not be served. But he can't govern without a ministerial cabinet. I mean, what on earth does he do? So let's see, does he call an election? Does Boris Johnson, let's focus in on that. So he's at the crossroads. He has to make a decision. What does he do? Does Boris Johnson call an election? Is he forced to call an election? The Emperor, control. That's sort of like a yes. Endings and beginnings. Yes. It's another yes card. And the Queen of Cups. Something that he brings out. Like, is it what is this? Two of air. Here it is. He's got to make a decision. He knows he's had to make a decision. So he could well resign. Okay, so there's one option. But I asked about my phone's going off, isn't it? I asked about whether he calls an election. 3 cups have been lost, 1 is remaining. The 2 of earth, again, the pentacle energy. No real option here. He will be forced to make a decision. The partisanship. Can he actually govern obstacles, challenges, because his own party doesn't support him? The outcome card is the moon. Something we're not seeing here is going to come to the surface, and the King of Fire. 10 of air. Ruination. He may not call it. He may be forced to call it. He may be forced. He may be put in a corner because of this abuse of power. And the economy. These aren't good cards at all for the UK. This is around money. Could be something else coming out around an abuse of power, something to do with money. I've always thought that as well. Unfortunately, the Justice card has always been there for Boris Johnson. Those who govern through division, who ride the coattails of uncivilized politics, ultimately will fall on their sword, will be forced to fall on their sword. So what am I seeing here? Something is coming out of left field with that moon card that we can't see at this time. No, he can't hang on. Will he call an election? Ultimately, I think he will be forced to. Okay, so, wow. He's in a world of pain, Boris Johnson. That reading was for our friends in the UK. Quickly before I go, let's tag on a question around Pat Cipollone. He was the White House Counsel, has agreed to talk to the January 6th committee. I'll do a further reading on that, those hearings which look at the Oath Keepers and connections with the White House again shortly, my next reading. But let's just see, will Pat Cipollone provide... Whoa. 3 of rods, Pat Cipollone's testimony, supply the links here to indict, further links to indict the president. There's something here, 3 of wands, so doing the work, waiting for the ship to come in, and lovers. He was close to Trump. The 8 of cups. This is resignation, moving away from what no longer serves you. He has felt he has been in a world of pain, Cipollone. He's been waiting for this. But he is also restricted in what he can say due to that executive privilege. He was, after all, the White House Counsel. In the sky, we've got connections here, contracts, commitments, partnerships. The Ace of Cups. His testimony, what he can say, is quite damning. And this is around maybe him advising the president not to get involved with certain people because it was seditious type of behaviour. Something that comes to fruition in time. 6 of Swords, it helps. Like Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, like all the brave people that have come forward at this time. Kinzinger, Cheney, the Democrats, the fight, the good fight. His testimony is very powerful, behind closed doors. Hopes and fears, having to defend himself against attacks. He has been restricted. He has actually been afraid, like them all that come forward, around what consequences there are. The shooter in Highlands Park was a Trumpian supporter. There are domestic terrorists there. It's a terrible climate in the US at this time. So the Queen of Pentacles, this is stability. Will his testimony give weight? There's some connection here with a woman that he has, that he knows, that testimony may impact on. And we have the strength. Oh yeah, this is also my question for domestic security. I think one of the ways is that he may have advised him against connections with domestic terrorists. I think there's something there through getting involved with certain people and what that might yield. There's a pull here toward this Queen of Pentacles and this Eight of Pentacles. He gave skilled advice. And that is what I'm seeing here. But also getting involved with certain groups and certain people. The Queen of Swords is at the base of the pack. This is like the truth. His testimony is like going to be called. His testimony will inform the DOJ's indictment. Basically, there is no other. The White House Counsel. There is no greater testimony here. The Knight of Swords. He's going to be, whether he likes it or not, he's going to be a key witness in the trial of not just Trump but others, because he's seen things. He's been in meetings where he said you can't do that. So it will reflect on the people that were in those meetings too. Maybe that's the Queen of Pentacles I'm seeing. Gosh, it's unraveling for them. If you had any doubts that it wouldn't, it is. Show me Pat Cipollone. Okay, the High Priestess. The secrets are being revealed right now as we speak. There is another woman deputy press secretary who's also testifying. It's all coming out. There is no way on this earth that Trump survives this. All right. Maybe people might start to think about how they govern. Maybe people will start to think about breaking the laws of the land, breaking even protocols, breaking even norms. It's radicalness. Maybe people will start to think, is this worth it? Okay, I'll leave it there. UK and a little bit on the January 6th committee. That's my reading. Thank you for tuning in.